The next book that we're reading is Fun Home, which is a biographical graphic novel written by Alison Bechdel, who is also the main character. The story follows Allison, her parents, and her two brothers, who spend their time either in their meticulously decorated home or in the funeral home that her family runs, which they nickname Fun Home. The story focuses on Allison's rocky relationship with her father and how she navigates growing up in an unsteady family life. Alison Bechdel was born in Pennsylvania in September 1960. She's a graphic novelist and cartoonist, most famous for a comic strip that ran for 25 years called Dykes to Watch Out For, which she eventually published online. From that comic strip actually came a very famous test about gender equality in movies called the Bechdel test. For a movie to pass the Bechdel test, it has to have at least two named women in it who talk to each other about something besides a man. In 1861, Allison graduated from Oberlin and moved to New York City. In 2006, she wrote Fun Home, which became an award-winning Broadway musical in 2015. In 2012, she wrote another graphic novel book called Are You My Mother? And in 2014, she won a MacArthur Genius Grant.
I'm going to talk about the background on the book first. Fun Home was first published on June 8th, 2006. It took Allison 7 years to write and illustrate, partly because of her meticulous artistic process. Fun Home has also achieved popular and critical success, including 2 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. It has also been named one of the best books of 2006 by several publications and been nominated for National Book Critics Circle Award and won an Eisner Award. Allison has stated that her motivation for writing the book was to reflect on why things turned out the way they did in her life. Now I'm going to talk about information on some of the main characters of the book, not including Allison. So Bruce Bechdel was Allison's father. He was also an English teacher, a World War II veteran, and he also ran the funeral home that he inherited from his father part-time. He loves literature and surface-level aesthetics, especially flowers. Bruce's obsession with surface-level beauty is acted out through his restoration of the Bechdel family's old Victorian house. In addition to Allison's relationship to Bruce, the novel centers on the causes that may have led to Bruce's death, including his hidden homosexuality and the affairs he had with teenage boys while married to Allison's mother. Bruce and Allison's stories can be viewed as opposites because Allison eventually was able to express her sexuality and identity, while Bruce hid his behind the facade he created. Helen Bechdel is Allison's mother, and in the book, Allison compares her to a character out of a Henry James book because she is an idealistic young woman dragged down by the negative influence of Bruce. So she dreams of being an actress and meets Bruce in a college production of The Taming of the Shrew. She moves to New York to pursue acting after college, but then decides to move to Europe while Bruce is in the army there to marry him. Then she returns to Bruce's hometown of Beech Creek, which kind of ends her Broadway dreams, and she raises 3 kids and acts in community theater productions. The book kind of suggests that she throws herself into roles to escape her life, and it is also revealed that she knew about Bruce's affairs but ignored them. Joan was Allison's first girlfriend at college, and she's a poet, feminist, and activist, and is dating Allison when Bruce dies. Roy was Bruce's English student and Allison's and her brother's babysitter, and he had an affair with Bruce. So that's about it on the other important characters in Fun Home.
So I will be talking about the cultural significance of Fun Home. Well, it was a popular and critical success. Not only was the artwork praised, but also the book's ability to talk about difficult subjects at the time, such as sexuality and gender identity. But it also stirred up lots of controversy, and there were many attempts at trying to ban it. The first of which was in October 2006, a couple of months after its initial release. So, a resident of Marshall, Missouri, tried to get the book removed from local libraries, saying that the book was pornographic and was worried that children might read it. But the director of the library defended the book, saying that professional, credible sources reviewed it. The book was removed from the library for 6 months while the library's board reviewed it. But it was eventually returned to shelves, and Bechdel, rather than being mad, thought that the banning was a great honor because it started a conversation across the nation. The next attempt at banning was in 2013 when Fun Home was chosen as a book for incoming freshmen to read at the College of Charleston. A conservative group out of South Carolina challenged the choice for the book, and it again was called pornographic. The school stood by its decision to keep the book a part of the syllabus, but the South Carolina House of Representatives, which was mostly Republican, cut the school's funding by $52,000. There was a ton of uproar, and the college and student organizations were mad. After nearly a week, where Bechdel and Fun Home were compared to slavery, Charles Manson, and Hitler, the state senate voted and restored the funding. The stipulation was that there had to be alternate reading choices for students that refused to read the book due to religious or moral beliefs. The most recent attempt at banning was in 2018 when parents of students at a high school in New Jersey challenged the inclusion of Fun Home in the curriculum, but the school rejected the challenge. Then in May 2019, a lawsuit was filed against the school, demanding school administrators remove the book, saying, and I quote, "Minors will suffer irreparable harm, and the New Jersey statutes will be violated." That was said about a book we read. Well, the school added 2 more books that the students could read as an alternate. So, we hope you guys enjoy Fun Home, because we surely did, and keep learning, Rams.